The ongoing mystery of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is dominating headlines around the globe, but the absence of even the most basic facts about the plane's disappearance has left the media with nothing solid to go on, leading to rumor-mongering and rampant speculation. At first, the tragic disappearance of a fully loaded airliner looked to have an inevitable conclusion.
Hunt for wreckage now centered on fuel slicks spotted on the surface of the sea.
But as time wore on, the false leads piled up.
The search for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is getting more bewildering by the hour.
With no sign of the plane or those on board, the story became a full-blown mystery, leading to speculation, some of it informed.
The clues conflict, and after 5 days, we still don't know much.
Some of it, not so much.
Theory 2, pilot suicide.
You get below radar and you bring this airplane and all the hostages to someplace where you can...
With time to fill, even the most wild-eyed theories got airtime on the cable networks.
There was a known meteor in the area at the time the plane took off. Could it have hit the plane? And then there's the idea the miraculous might have happened, that the plane somehow landed near the rocky outcrop of an island called Pulau Perak.
And the coverage took on a breathless tone more suited to a fiction thriller.
Brand new developments coming in right now, just as we're coming on the air.
They have satellite images. There's satellite images here.
Criticism of CNN's wall-to-wall coverage led Chris Cuomo to push back, saying the media is simply following the story.
If it seems like we're nibbling around the edges, it's because we are.
Or just maybe throw enough theories out there, and one of them is bound to be right. So is the media striking out in its missing plane coverage? Here to hash it out are John Keller of WBZ, Neiman Journalism Fellow Susie Benakarim, Marjorie Egan of WGBH News and the Boston Herald, and Dan Kennedy of Northeastern University. I actually hadn't heard a number of those wild theories. Most of the coverage I've seen, but I have to say I've been largely watching network news at night when I'm there. It has been incredibly responsible. In fact, really, really informative. We were talking earlier about some of the stuff I didn't know. That you go far enough out into the ocean and there is no radar. You're not on that blip screen. I had no idea. I thought you were always on a radar screen. So I think for the most part it's been pretty responsible. I think a lot of this cable speculation is, filling airspace.
Well, CNN is starting to take some criticism for their endless speculating and indulging in rumors. I mean, they're not saying the rumors are true, but they keep airing them. There's a pretty remarkable video on the web of, it's kind of like CNN's greatest hits of speculation and rumor-mongering, and it looks like something that Jon Stewart would be talking about on The Daily Show, but no, it's something that CNN put together themselves. I mean, this is the problem with 24-hour cable news. There really isn't any news, and I suppose that they deserve some credit for at least not actively embracing some of the wilder theories out there. But when there's no news, maybe you ought to move on and cover something else.
Did you see Boston.com today?
Yep.
They had aliens. One Boston.
Alien abduction. That's by far my favorite.
Beamed up and probed the Bermuda Triangle, and I think it was winding up in Vietnam. But part of me has to say I'm guilty because this is a mystery, and we all take airplanes, and there's something. It's like the old car crash thing. You're attracted to it, and you have to keep remembering that this is hundreds of people and families and everything else. So part of me understands why they're doing it, because it's a scary story. Everyone can relate to it. Everybody knows about being on an airplane. Everybody thinks every time there's a left turn, right turn, where are we going? So, but aliens seems a little bit
Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, I mean, it is a tough spot for the 24-hour cable folks, right? Because this is a story that a lot of people are really interested in. I'm guilty too. It's sort of this fascinating mystery, and they have to fill the time somehow. They don't really have a lot of options. So, I sort of feel sympathy for them, but I feel more sympathy for the families. And so maybe there should be some more attention paid to sort of the impact that all this speculation has on them, and that could fill a few minutes.
Oh, they've done that too.
Yeah, I think I've seen, pretty good coverage of the plight of those poor people who don't know what happened to their loved ones. I mean,
And I just echo what everyone else is saying. Everybody loves a mystery, right? Remember when the cows went missing from the old Hilltop restaurant and nobody knew where they were? The entire region was in a frenzy. It was sort of a movable feast of entertainment, if you'll pardon the expression. But and I'm a sucker for those shows they have on the Discovery Channel or whatever it is. You know, could ancient astronauts have built the pyramids? And
I know.
They show an empty field strewn with blocks, and yeah, I suppose it could be. So, you know, buyer beware. I guess that's my warning, as always, to news consumers. Be aware of what you're looking at, and if the speculation looks like it's a little overheated or off the deep end with the whole alien angle, then it probably is.
I'd say I've been actually heartened a little bit by the fact that the whole world has some concern by this. So this isn't just a story in America, although maybe the journalism, the press would be a little more sensitive if it was Americans on board, but I feel like everybody's involved with this. You know?
Well, it was interesting. I'm sorry. It was interesting to see that the Chinese media kind of has been swarming this story just as much as the American media. I thought that in and of itself was an interesting angle.
And that all the different countries have been coming together with their expertise. It's sort of an international effort. You had a great guy on your show, though, that was involved in the Air France disappearance. Yes. And he was, to me, the perfect guest because he knew what he was talking about. He provided a lot of information, very fact-based, and he was great. I think it's probably
he was part of the discovery of that 2009 Air France crash.
Exactly.
And it took them a month to find that plane and 2 years to bring it up.
Yeah, and if in the end the coverage reminds us of the limits of technology, that we aren't masters of everything that happens, we don't always know what goes on, that's a worthwhile reminder to have once in a while.
I hope they stay on it. I mean, I'm not sick of the story yet. I mean, it's one of those things that it could go through the news cycle very quickly. It's been a week already. I hope they stay on it.